First person going on the tube on the mighty Sea Nymph. This is quite the beautiful boat, but I have a pretty good video here for you guys to watch of me doing the entire thing. So, without further ado, good luck, Ethan. We'll check them out at the end. We have our new boat, the Sea Nymph CC171, on the side of the I-5 interstate with not one shredded tire, but two. Also, I wore a yellow shirt today because I had a feeling that I might end up on the side of the road. I'm not gonna lie. Ew. Two new tires. It's like $500, but I would have been very, very screwed without that guy. So I appreciate him more than he'll ever know it. There she is, the Sea Nymph CC171. Made it back alive last night, luckily. And today I just want to kind of go through it, try to figure out what I bought, start to get it cleaned up, figure out what we want to do with the floor. Probably want to get a compass and maybe a radio. Lots of wiring to figure out. I'm pretty sure the bilge pump has to be rewired up. And then I'm going to kind of just clean up the back here. And then I'm going to take this to go get serviced, so I'll know it is all ready and good to hit the ocean, so I don't have to call the Coast Guard. I tried to get it better back in here, but it's just super caked on there. It's kind of like a tar, oily dirt. First thing I'm gonna do before I start wiring is move this bilge pump back, because you can see there's water back there and there's none up here. And I want it to be able to be at the lowest point so we can get all the water out to its best of its ability. That was surprisingly easy. So that's all good to go. I'm gonna start putting in this conduit and pulling the wire through it. So, moment of truth. See if they work. Yay. Got our red and green up there, and our white light in the back, and bilge pump. It's going. I'm actually pretty happy with how it all turned out yesterday. It took way longer than I wanted to, but today we are going to finish the floor. Hopefully get it all screwed down for real this time. So I was kind of like planning on originally just using those and kind of tracing them out, but they just weren't like super precise. They look like they're just kind of eyeballed. So I'm just going to start by cutting the pieces square and then trying to figure out kind of how much you need to cut it as the boat kind of concaves inward a little bit. What we ended up with was 3/4 inch plywood and then a garage floor 2-part epoxy over it. And then over that, I did some of this 1-part polyurethane topside paint, which is marine grade. But I want to go ahead and get all of this stuff mounted up and secured. Radio is installed, going in the water. Look, it's running. Nope. The mighty Sea Nymph made it out to sea. and didn't make it much further past that. Works fine now. Oh my goodness, this is really bad. I was looking at it and it honestly is just super rotten. And I mean, this is spongy here. Like, it's just not safe to go out in the ocean the way it is, I don't think. This boat's generally not safe to go out in the ocean in, but it's super unsafe with this transom. I'm worried, even though they have these big plates on here, that something could rip and we get a big leak, which would be really bad. So I am gonna go ahead and take off the motor, which entails taking off all this wiring, which I already started to do, taking off the throttle, taking off the steering, the fuel line, and then actually lifting it. And then we can start to take apart all this and try to figure out how to get the transom out of here. Got the foam out of here finally. You can tell it is also completely rotten on this side. Okay. The outboard is now officially 100% disconnected. That's what roommates are for. All the bolts are out, so it's kind of the moment of truth. Here we go. It's off. Look at that. The plan today is get all this wood out of here, so I've just been shooting all of these bolts with PB Blaster multiple days in a row, and we're gonna try to wrench them loose. I realized since I don't have the wood to temple it on, I can use this piece of aluminum that has the same shape. So I'm just gonna trace this out and then cut this out. Okay, that looks pretty good. So now I'm gonna go ahead and use this to trace it out twice more, and then we'll glue 3 pieces together. Got this all clamped together here. We ended up with like 1.9 something inches, so super close to 2, with the 3/4 inch pieces on either side and the 1/2 inch in the middle. I just went ahead and painted the back of the transom with some of this latex paint, and then I just finished sanding the transom here. So what I'm gonna do now is take some of this 2-part penetrating epoxy, mix it up, and then try to brush it on here. I want to get this swim ladder hooked on here, so that way I can attach this panel here. So I was just kind of templating out what I want this piece of wood to look like, because I'm gonna put a piece of wood to help kind of strengthen this up here. And we're gonna be using Ipe wood for everything on this boat, because I can't find teak really anywhere. And with Ipe, it's kind of puts off like this toxic dust, and it makes me a little bit allergic to it, and some people. So I wear a mask and use a vacuum for this stuff, but I'm just gonna trace this out and then cut it out, and then we'll get it on there. So I went and got a starting battery, and then we already have this deep cell battery. So basically we're gonna do a dual battery system where the starting battery is all by itself, kind of isolated. So we're not gonna be wearing that down with the trolling motor. And then we're gonna have the deep cell battery for the trolling motor and all the other little switches things. You can see how everything kind of goes on. And I'm gonna be putting everything on these two little boards here and sandwiching it on either side of this wall, trying to fit as much as I can inside that little box. But we'll see how everything kind of gets put together here. Have everything wired up here, just putting on the negative end of the battery. And I'm leaving the house battery completely disconnected, pretending like the trolling motor used all of that. And I'm interested to see if it still starts, and it should, because the two batteries in the on position here should be completely isolated from each other. But let's find out. Here we go. Got that there. Okay, I got that connected. Now we can see 11.6 volts on that. And our little trolling motor also has power on here, so let's try this. See, it's running. We can see here we have 8 bars of battery. For emergencies, you can turn this to the both position. Now, we should get more bars of battery if it works the way I think it does, which it does. So it combines both batteries for everything. 2 things left to do on this boat. We're gonna do the wood trim and then the floor. So for this trim, I'm just gonna trace out these old pieces and copy them like for like, and then we'll cut them out, get them stained, and put them on. Just that little part in the sunlight, you can tell this is gonna look really good once these are dry. So while I'm waiting on that, I'm starting to template out on the boat floor using cardboard how I'm gonna cut the sea deck stuff, the EVA foam. So I'm gonna do a lot of measuring and then start cutting some cardboard, and then we can use that to trace out the sea deck. Had to do a little notch. It's not bad. Worked a little more on this. I think it looks pretty good. I might round all of the sharp corners. Haven't figured that part out yet, but for templating, this is looking pretty good. Wood is now dry, so I want to put that on, and then I'm going to sand and repaint this floor, and then we'll have to wait a couple days, and then we'll cut out the sea deck and put it on, and we'll be good to go.